You hear somebody in the background talking how Pressure was dancing in front of Ivory, and we know we don't F with y'all, so why is y'all? I mean, me personally, I couldn't do it. I mean, but that's just me. I never really understood the philosophy of females saying, well, I could know a bitch hate my guts and I'll go sit right beside her or I'll go sit right in front of her. And I mean, I just never been the type to put myself on people. You know what I'm saying? You know they don't like you. Why in the fuck are you forcing your presence on them? And that's exactly what it is. Don't give me no, oh, well, I'm just comfortable anywhere I go. And you're putting yourself on people. That's exactly what it is. You're forcing your presence on people. You know they don't fuck with you. So who in the fuck? I don't know. I just never been that girl to sit at a table around people that I know. You know what I'm saying? Once you find out or once, it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever happens, that's really that on that. I'm not about to the fuck, because my philosophy is, why in the fuck would I be around y'all? The disdain is mutual. Like, I'm not about to, I'm not forcing my presence on you. No. Because of me personally, I don't want to be uncomfortable. You talking about I can be comfortable everywhere I go. What about being around somebody that doesn't fuck with you is comfortable? No, it's picking. That's what it is. You're picking. You want them to say something to you. That's what that is. It's picking. Don't give me no, oh, I'm being comfortable everywhere I go. It's picking. That's exactly what it is. Because I could never. I could never. Okay, Lolly. Lolly was the only one that really called her out when she was doing all that hollering. The rest of them was quiet, even Ivory. I was surprised with Lolly. She said, that's a team. Kinda, sorta. I'm with her there. If you came with your cousin, that's a team. It don't have to be your sister or your god sister or whatever. Your cousin. I don't care if it's your second, third, fourth, fifth cousin. That's your family. You came with her. Of course y'all gonna stick together. And that is a team. It really is. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Lolly fight funny, but she was still getting the best of Pressure. And I don't want to hear no old Lolly big. That's why. Because technically, when you think about it, Pressure is taller than her, but Lolly is bigger than her. So when you really think about it, y'all probably hear like little dollies and um little what's the thing that the Amazon drivers be pulling the big boxes on. They be putting the big boxes on the rolling things. I think that's a dolly, right? But anyway, I'm at my night job, so that's what you probably hear. You might hear a beeping noise in the back. Somebody room beeping or something. But anyway, yeah, Lolly. I mean, when you think about it, whenever I see a fat, short person fighting a tall person, I don't care if this person tall and skinny or not. Technically, when you think about it, because when somebody taller than you, they have height over you. They could knee you in the face. They could push you. You know what I'm saying? But when somebody fat, they got weight on you. You see what I'm saying? So when you think about it, either way, like they say, skinny people have more energy than fat people. I don't think so. Not all the time. Like they say, fat people, you know what I'm saying? They sometimes they have a little more strength than skinny people, right? Because they got the big girl strength. So I mean, either way, technically, for the people that were saying they want a fair fight because Lolly fat, Pressure is taller than her. If you notice, Pressure legs, for real, when you think about it, Pressure is tall for no reason, because even though she was fighting Lolly, she was low key bending down to her height. Lolly swing funny as fuck, and whoever was zooming in on her swinging, they knew what they was doing, because she swing like she kind of windmilling, but it kind of works for her, because she still, I mean, even if she swing like she slap boxing, not even trying to be funny, she fight like my little cousin that's 3. She fight like my little cousin that's 3, like she do that little windmill, but them little slaps be hurting. Don't get it twisted, because you know babies is strong as fuck, you know. But we trying to teach her to ball up her fist. You know, we gonna work on her technique later, but
We trying to get her to ball up her fist. You see what I'm saying? I used to fight like that when I was little. And some of elementary school too. I ain't even gonna lie. Like some of elementary school is. I told y'all, till my older cousin taught me how to fight. You know, Lolly probably ain't had nobody to really show her how to fight. You know, and it's never too late, but kind of is because we all grown as fuck now. So you probably just not no fighter. But I mean, to me, to be honest, she still, and don't give me no, she fell on pressure. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. They was heads up for a while. I think it was a what, but I'm gonna say Lolly got that, even though it was funny looking. She got that. Cause pressure, the way your height is, you should have been popping her ass left and right, and don't give me no, oh, I wasn't even trying to fight her for real. You just, and I wonder how you did that bid in prison. You must have been getting your ass whooped, cause you can't fight. You can't even handle these little girls up here. You can't tell me that you was handling them girls on in prison. I don't believe you.
Okay, for a second, I thought that this person was Ivory, but somebody in the comments said it was Fly Nine. Y'all, she looked like she wanted to cry and scream. But for a second, I heard somebody say liquor. Oh, so I'm guessing it must have been liquor in her eye. Y'all know I don't drink. So, I've heard people say when liquor gets in your eye, it burns really bad. And then y'all gotta remember she got on them eyelashes. So, I'm the glue from the eyelashes as well got wet. So I'm pretty sure that was dripping a little bit in her eye, then mixed with the liquor. I know she was having a hard time. You heard the guy said medics. So I'm guessing they got somebody on site that can help her with that. Yeah. I've heard it burns in your eye, I don't know. I don't drink, so I don't know how that feels. I know I have a stigmatism. So one of my eyes are, I guess you could say, a lazy eye, just a little bit. Some people notice it, some people don't. More people don't notice it until I mention it, and they be like, I don't see it. And then some people like, okay, I see it just a little bit, One of my eyes, is stronger than the other. I guess you could say that's the whole point of astigmatism. I've had it since I was a little girl, the astigmatism. So, yeah. So sometimes, like, for example, if I take my little cousin to the pool and I get chlorine in my eye, one eye seems like it's just at its breaking point, and the other it seems like I can dap it a little bit and then it be alright. You see what I'm saying? Versus the eye with the astigmatism, it's like chlorine get in my eye and it's like, So I guess you could, I don't know if it's like chlorine in your eye. I don't know. But yeah, I still don't like to get chlorine in my eye because one time when I was little and I had a birthday party, chlorine got in my eye and I was crying because me and my cousin was getting into it. And I started crying and I had already had chlorine in my eye and I was rubbing my eye and I caught pink eye in that same eye, So, yeah. I don't know. But, I don't know.
Okay, Lolly, that was kind of funny because didn't I just tell y'all that pressure is big for nothing? And I saw that in the comments, a couple people were saying that, and I definitely agree. She is a big bitch for nothing. I agree with her on that, but Lolly, we not gonna act like Layla Ali either. I mean, that's what I just said. I'm doing a watch along literally as I'm making this review, like always. But I mean, she is, because that's why I say Lolly can't even fight for it, and you can't even handle her. So how do you expect me to believe that you big pressure and you handle business the way you say you do? You can't even handle Lolly. And she fight like she slap boxing. I told y'all think I'm trying to be funny. She fight like my little cousin. That's 3. Lolly fight like my little cousin. That's 3. We trying to get her to ball up her fist. But she gonna get there. And like I told her mama now, she get in a couple fights. It might be what it is. But after a while, she be all right. We all got to learn from somewhere. Her mama was the one that taught me how to fight. So I know she gonna learn sooner or later. right? So, and plus she's 3. She's a baby, right? But she fight like my little cousin. I'm telling you, she fight like my little cousin. My little cousin, when she lift her hand, like, you know, like you about to pop a child, when she lift her hand and you tell her act, and she land on your leg, that little slap hurt. Don't get it twisted. That little slap hurt. And don't let her have her something in her hand. She gonna bust you upside the head with it. She get that from us. Cause we all quick to pick up something. All of us, we quick to pick up something.
Y'all ever had so many plans for yourself? You know, like growing up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you know, and you go get a couple of degrees under your belt, and then it seemed like you start to change your mind as far as like what you want to do long term. You see what I'm saying? Like, y'all ever felt like, okay, I know went to school, got this degree, but now my mind's starting to change totally from like a whole nother direction from the things that you went to school for? I feel like I'm at a crossroads because sometimes I kind of understand why people waited before they went right back to school. You know, I always wonder why they party so much, why they this. But see, for me, it was backwards, right? When I graduated high school, I went right to college, right? Life happened, had to come out for a little bit, but I came out eventually, right? Okay, came out of college, went right back to grad school, as y'all know, right? And I didn't really have time to party because I was working 2 jobs, and you know, and I tell people close to me, I'm like, I could have, I wish I had partied more. You know, and people always say, well, you're only in your 20s, you know. You're still young. You can still party if you want to, you know. And sometimes I wish I did, you know, because sometimes I used to sit back and say to myself, damn, they don't know what they want to do with their life. Every time you see them, they about to turn up, you know. But sometimes I wish that I had waited a little bit, because now that I'm getting a little older, it seems like my mind's starting to totally change from what I done used all this financial aid for, spent all this time that I done went to school for certain things. And it seemed like I'm totally going in a different direction than the things that I wanted to go to school for. Because when I tell y'all, I'm starting to think about starting my own business. Because here's the thing, right? I have worked jobs and people had just treated me any kind of way on a lot of jobs, right? And as I get older, I realize that I just don't want to deal with that the rest of my life. You know, and I've had a girl tell me this before where I used to work with her. And I was just going about my own speed on things, you know, you know. I wasn't really keeping up with everybody else. I was just off in my own little world as usual. And she told me something, I never forget it. She said, you know, my mama always tell me, if you're going to do what you want to do on other people's job, you need to start your own business. So she said, and I'm going to share that with you. Right? So I'm saying to myself, I couldn't stand the bitch because she always had something smart to say under her breath. And she was one of them females that she'll say slick shit, then she'll act like she'll know what you're talking about. She was one of them kind, right? So she would say things like, well, if I had something to say, I would have just said it. I wouldn't have said da-da-da. Knowing she trying to be funny, right? So I remember her saying that, you know, and it's kind of like, I said to myself, the bitch trying to be funny, right? But it seemed like the older I get, the more I think about it, and I'm like, maybe she was on to something, right? Because when I tell y'all, I have been on so many jobs, and people just got away with treating me any kind of way. Because, you know, I've had people tell me when they first meet me, I don't come across as that bright, you know. So there are people in the world that find it funny to even make fun of people that come across maybe a little slow. Like my good Judy told me once before, when you first meet you do come across a little off, right? But it's not until somebody really hear you talk, they know you a lot smarter than what they think, right? So a lot of people, they got away with doing me, real dirty on jobs, right? And I've just come to conclusion that I just don't want to deal with that the rest of my life. I just don't want to paint. I don't want to build other people's family legacy. I don't want to be a part of that the rest of my life. I don't want to be working. Even if the salary is really, really good, even if it's a nice, cute salary, yeah, it's cute or whatever, and it ain't even about working 2 jobs. It's just about, I want to leave something for my children. I don't want to be the person that's an employee for other people's family shit that they're passing down generation to generation. Like, I want to leave something for my babies. You see what I'm saying? Like, when I birth my children, I want them to have something. Right? I don't want to be the person that's clocking in for somebody else. And I've come to the conclusion, I don't care if it's a day job, a night job, even, my day job working for the government. That's fine and all. But at the end of the day, it's not my shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, I used to wonder why everybody and their mama want to start their own business. And I would say to myself, why everybody want to start their own business? What's wrong? Like, I understand, like, me personally, I feel like this. Okay. I told y'all before, I'm all for, I feel like even if you have your own business, your day job should be your bread and butter. Right? But see, the thing is, until you really get your business off the ground and really get it rolling. You see what I'm saying? But other than that, I feel like everybody should have at least one old school job. I call an old school job a regular 9 to 5, in my opinion, right? But I've just come to conclusion, and like, I'm gonna keep working my regular jobs, but I told myself I'm thinking about leaving the government because I'm tired of working 2 jobs. I've already been looking. I ain't told them nothing. But it's just, I want more. I deserve so much more. I know I'm going to receive so much more in Jesus' name, because I know that I have put in the work, hell and high water, no matter what people have done, no matter what people have said, I still kept going. And I know the universe hears me. I know God hears me. I just, I want more. And don't get me wrong, I thank God for what he has put in front of me. No matter what people have did to try to destroy me, God has kept me in the palm of his hands in Jesus' name. But I just want more. I want so much more, and I know I'm going to receive it. One day I'm going to receive everything I ever spoke into existence. But I just want more. I just be sitting back thinking, like, everything that I went through, like, I'm like, do I really want to deal with that the rest of my life? I've had people team up on me on jobs, and, it's just some things, I mean, you get past it because you get new jobs, and, and stuff like that, and every job may pay more than the next one, and, it's little perks here and there, but it's just, I want more. Like, I don't know how, I don't want to be sitting home all day. I don't want to be a kept woman. I don't want to just wake up and just, I mean, of course I want to wake up, but y'all know what I mean. Like, I can't see myself just being a stay-at-home mom. Maybe later on down the road, but I don't know. I've always worked, so I can't see that for me. Maybe a little bit, but I just want more. I just want more. And it's just like, I think about some things and how things have played out. And I'm like, certain situations and how people have gotten away with certain shit. And it just did something to me. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. It just makes me think, like, do you really want to deal with that? And, you know, and how people talk to you on these jobs and make you feel like you ain't shit. And then when you say something about it, it's a problem. You know, who wants to deal with that? I don't want to be old saying things like, well, long as the bills pay, everything. I don't want to be saying stuff like that. I want to go to work and love my job. And love my job, love what I do, love the people, love, you know, that's what it's all about. I don't want to have to, you know, and don't get me wrong, I thank God for everything, because I'm not wanting for shit. I go get my nails done when I want to go get them done. I go shopping when I want to go shopping. I get my hair done when I want to get my hair done. But at the end of the day, I still want more. Is that wrong? Y'all get what I'm saying? I ain't rich, but I ain't hurting either. You see what I'm saying? But it's just, I still want more. Is that too much to ask?
Okay, so can I just say something? And I know this about to come off kind of, one thing I've noticed in the black community, I'm just saying, and I can say that because I'm a black woman. People always say I look like I have something in me. I don't think so. I think it's more so because of my slanted eyes, but I am black. I told y'all my biological mother is darker than Cash, darker than Liddy. Like, she is dark, dark. Look like she could be an African. Okay, and my biological father is light skinned. Like, who's a good example? Like Mariah Lynn, light skinned. Y'all know who Mariah Lynn is. What's another good example of somebody extremely light skinned? Well, Mariah Lynn is white, so that's not the same. Who's somebody on the show that's really light? But y'all get the picture, like a light skinned person, really light. So that's the only reason why I have my skin complexion. But one thing I've noticed in the black community, white people do it too, but to me, it seems like it's more prevalent with us. Our people of our color, just saying, the gaslighting in our community is at an all-time high. One thing I can say about white folks, you meet a couple of gaslighters every now and then, but y'all ever had a white person piss you off and you tell them how you feel and they'll be like, well, here's where we are. Or they'll say something like, well, because da-da-da-da. You see what I'm saying? One thing about black people that I have noticed, when they do stuff, they say, you're tripping, or it's not what you think it is. Like, they gaslight you into thinking you're crazy. Versus one thing I can say about the white people, you ever had a white person say something racist around you, like, well, usual suspects, or y'all's people, and then you say something like, go get us justice for Emmett Till. Then they get quiet. Because, or something, scratching back to the beginning of time, you'll notice they don't make excuses for it. They say, you may catch one say, well, da-da-da-da-da, shouldn't have did da-da-da-da. Like, I heard a white guy say one time, when I said, well, Trayvon Martin, really never got justice, if you ask me, because Zimmerman's still walking around breathing. And he said, well, nobody told him to walk around with a hood on. Like, one thing I can't say about white people, if they did it, for the most part. Not all the time, but I'm saying for the most part. But one thing about black people, y'all will make excuse after excuse after excuse. I'm not saying that's the case with all white people. I'm saying more times than not, right? So the reason why I say that, okay, Nina, y'all already know I goes up for Miss Nina. I give everybody their props. I tell people how they feel. I feel about stuff. I told y'all when Nina, I felt like Nina shouldn't have been telling her business to these girls. I even gave y'all some examples of things that I have been through in life where I have had to learn, be very picky about stuff. I gave y'all examples about that. I told y'all how, you just be careful sharing information. I told y'all how I feel about Cash. I told y'all how I feel about the situation with her bringing up Nina's mother that went on. And I told y'all how I felt that Cash, if Nina brought up her family, it's justified just a little bit. Because, again, we can't bring up other people's families if we don't want them to bring up ours. That go, I know how people say you got to leave the deceased alone, the kids alone, and the parents. But you can't say, well, I could talk about your aunt. What if the aunt raised that person? Then in my book, if somebody raised you, I don't care if it's a sister or aunt or uncle. Hell, I don't care if it's a teacher. If this person raised you, this is like a mom to you. This is like a dad to you. So you can't pick and choose what family members you want to talk about. You can't do that, right? So, okay, so I say that to say, right? Now, in this scene right here, where I fast forwarded a little bit because I was reading the comments, so I'm not the only one that felt this episode was a little boring, just a little bit, because I looked up, I was almost more than halfway through the episode. So that's how I knew that it wasn't really giving what I felt it should have gave. What is this in her hand? So anyway, nonetheless, so check this out. So in this scene right here, when Isaiah was telling Fly Night, he was like, y'all know I'm at my night job. So when Isaiah was telling Fly Night, calm down, right? After she got done arguing with Nina, and she was like, you want me to calm down after this girl threw liquor in my face? And when he came back on her like, you signed to be on this show. And I know people in the comments was like, that was cold. He didn't have to say it like that. Like, basically, he was saying in so many words, I don't give a fuck. Calm down, right? But see, the thing is, I understand her frustration, but in the same token, I kind of understand his point of view. Because like I told y'all before, when you come on these shows, you have to expect anything. Y'all can't keep coming to these shows thinking y'all gonna win every single fight, because that's not realistic. You can't think you gonna win them all, because that's just not how life works. That's just not how life works. You have to come on these shows expecting anything. And, I remember one girl saying, I forgot what, I don't know if it was Big Lex, Jocelyn. It was one of these shows like this. And the girl said, she took a L, and now she got to go back and look at her family after they done seen her get beat up on TV, basically. Well, the thing is, again, don't go to the show thinking you're going to win them all. Let me tell you, that's part of the reason why I would never go to a show like this. For one thing, I don't want people at work in my business. That's the biggest thing for me. Because I'm in grad school, and then I plan on going back to get my doctorate degree. I don't want people on a job, not that I care about what people think, but I don't want people on a job judging me off of some TV stuff. I don't want them judging me off some TV stuff. That's number one. That's the biggest thing for me. And number two, I don't want to live my life in the public eye. I guess you can say that's included in number one. Whether good or bad, I don't care if you go on this show and win all your fights. I mean, W straight across the board. I don't want my life lived in the public eye. I don't want to be in a show, in the store, and somebody, oh, that's so-and-so from so-and-so. Oh shit, oh shit. Y'all remember that time when Cash was on a live video on IG and she was like, sometimes she could be in the store and random girls that she never met will say stuff to her just because, like, oh yeah, I didn't like what you did on that episode. Da da da. Remember that time she said she told that girl, let me tell you something, this ain't TV or something. And the girl was like, well, I know it's not TV because I'm not the bitch that's off the TV. And she said, oh, it ain't gotta be TV because ain't no security to pull me up off of you. I hollered. That was funny. And see, that's my thing. Sometimes when you live your life in the public eye, people will try you just because they want to get famous. I can't have that. I can't have that. Because I'm going to tell you something. If a bitch walk up on me and like she want to start some shit about some TV shit that you getting paid to cut up, bitch, suit and heels coming off. The fuck? And see, you can't, and see, the thing is, when Cash said she was staying in that hotel that time, she said she had been in a store one time and the girl was rude to her multiple times, right? And she said she wanted to hit the girl so bad, right? But here's the thing. Cash said the first time she let it ride when the girl walked up on her. The second time she told her, you know what, bitch, if you do it again, we're going to fight, right? That's why I be telling y'all, you let a bitch walk up on you the first time, the bitch gonna do it again. I have learned that myself. If you don't say shit the first time, it's gonna be a second time. But more of the story, you know, just be realistic when y'all go on these shows. If it's not nothing you trying to do, don't do it. Plain and simple. Consider all aspects when y'all go on these shows. And I think as black people, we got to stop. You know, that was the whole point of the first part of this clip. As black people, we got to stop blaming others when things don't go our way, or convincing them that they did something wrong when we don't want to take accountability. Because at the end of the day, like he said, even though Isaiah is a true sissy at heart, he will argue with any woman that walks the face of this earth. Right? Never seen him argue with a man just yet. Not to say he never will, but I haven't seen it yet. But I can take a sissy that knows he's a sissy and he acts like a sissy and he owns he's a sissy versus one that doesn't and acts like, you know, he ain't never, you know. But nonetheless, if you ain't trying to live your life in the public eye and you not trying to take whatever that come on this show, don't sign up. Because when things go your way, don't be blaming everybody else. At the end of the day, Fly, now you growing on me, but I'm going to tell you, give you some honesty the same way I had to give Nina some honesty. Y'all got to stop that. Stop it. Stop signing up for these shows if you're not trying to take whatever may come with it. Yo, Fly Night took Pressure for that ride. But that was kind of funny when Pressure said, them teeth is not teeth%. I said, what? Girl, that was funny though. Pressure, you couldn't handle Lolly. You couldn't handle Fly Night. I knew you couldn't do nothing with Fly Night. Now, Lolly, bitch, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. But I already knew you couldn't do nothing with Fly Night. Fly Night working her way to the top, low-key. She really is that girl on the low. Because I really do think her and Liddy is a what. I know people in the comments was going up for Miss Liddy, but I mean, I think they what. And I don't even count the fight on the couch with the liquor because, I mean, you pour liquor in somebody's eyes. From what I heard, liquor in somebody's eyes stings really bad. I don't drink, so I don't know. So I don't even count that. And to be honest, them punches didn't look like they was really connecting for real. Even if they were, that's like the equivalency of throwing pepper spraying somebody or throwing something in their eye or even glitter. You know, you threw something in their face so they couldn't see. So, of course, you're going to have the upper hand. That's the whole point of pepper spraying people before you fuck them up. Like, I remember in high school when a girl was pregnant and she was fighting another girl. And I couldn't stand neither one of them. But I low-key wanted the girl to win that was pregnant because you know how you may hate two bitches, but it may be one that you really can't stand. You see what I'm saying? I really couldn't stand the other one. So I really wanted her to win. right, the pregnant girl, but she went out in the neighborhood. Why I don't understand why she would want to fight when she was pregnant. I never understand that when they say in my life. But she went out there and next thing you know, when I was in middle school, that's when social media was really starting to take off. It started off with MySpace, right? And that was around the time when people was really starting to migrate to other social medias, right? So, next thing I know, they was having I saw the video on, long story short, I saw the video on social media. And, back in the day, they used to record when people go to people's house and the fight and stuff. And they had the video of them all walking out there so they could fight and stuff. And next thing you know, you saw her coming down the street and you heard people in the background saying, oh shit, oh shit. And she came and she was like, what's up? Big belly and all, right? What's up? The girl said, oh, you want to know what's up? She said, yeah, I want to know what's up. She said, you came to my mama's house? She said, yeah, I came. What's up? She said, this what's up. And the next thing you know, she said, she had something in her hand, but I couldn't see it. And you heard the girl say, ah, but you could hear it because he said, shh. You could hear her say, ah. She was crying, holding her eyes and stuff. And the girl was behind her, just like, just fucking her back up. You could hear the punches land. She was hitting that girl in the back of the head. She was hitting that girl in the back. She like, you come to my mama house, bitch. Bitch. Like she was talking to her while she was whooping that ass. She was beating that girl ass. I mean, she was beating that girl ass. And people were just watching. That couldn't have been my sister. I'm not for jumping, but I would have tried to break it up. I would have definitely tried to break it up. But it was crazy because a lot of people didn't feel bad for her because they were saying she shouldn't have went out there no way. But it was really crazy. Both sides had family out there. So, I guess people was waiting on somebody else to jump in. But yeah, more of the story. She whooped her ass. But to me, you ain't really do your big one. Because just because she's pregnant, that don't mean she can't fight. I mean, it's nothing that I would do. But, you spray something in her eyes, of course, she can't really defend herself like that for real. She couldn't see. What do you expect? Okay, on that third round, Ivory, you got that, you didn't beat her down, but you beat her ass. For the real fighters out there, we know there's levels to it. Like, if somebody got the best of you, or you got fucked up, or my cousin used to always say when somebody get like beat, they got spanked. Like I remember one time it was a guy that he used to run with. I used to have the biggest crush on him, right? Which I later found out he won't shit. But anyway, they said he got into a fight in the bathroom because they used to have all their fights in the bathroom, right? Our school, the most of the fights went down in the hallway, like in between blocks. So the guys, I don't know what happened. He was beefing with the guy or whatever, and I don't know what happened. He didn't want me, right? The friend didn't want me. I was crazy about him, but he didn't want me, right? So he used to run with another guy that he wasn't a fighter, but I liked him because he just seemed like he was really sweet. He was really sweet, right? So we started talking on the phone or whatever. He was like, don't worry about him. It's cool. Don't worry about him. They jerks, right? And I said, you're right. I don't care, because my parents did not let me go out, right? I could go to the skating ring, long as I was home by 7. I could go, to like, walk around the mall with my good Judy for the most part. But they didn't believe in like me going to sleepovers and stuff. They didn't believe in it, right? But my good Judy at the time, her mama didn't give a fuck where she went. She could go to house parties. She could go to lockdowns. If you don't know what that is, that's where like they lock the building and you could spend the night. It's been times where she don't come home for weeks at a time. Her mama would not call. Her mama did not give a fuck, right? So they liked her because she could do shit, right? So long story short, you see where I'm going with it. Y'all know I'm long winded. So yeah, so he got like he didn't want me, right? So I was talking to the friend, I couldn't go see him. To this day, y'all, you would think I'm lying if I told y'all I never met my cousin friend in person. It was always on the phone. To this day, I'm in my mid-20s. I never met these people, and I was talking on the phone with them people in like middle school. I never met them people. So I almost said the other guy's name. So we would be talking on the phone again. To this day, I never met these people in real life. Only my cousin, of course, right? So they didn't let me go around his house either because my parents, and he was my cousin through my dude's first husband, right? So of course she divorced him. So let's just say my grandfather and his grandfather were brothers. That's how he became my cousin, right? So nonetheless, so which made my mama and his mama first cousins, I think, right? Because that was her daddy and that was her dad. I think that made them first cousins. So what? We second cousins, I think. Anyway, I think. But anyway, so long story short, when I started talking to him, I still couldn't go see him because my dudes won't let me go around him because even though he's technically my cousin, it ain't like we close. So technically, she don't really know them. She didn't play that shit, right? So I couldn't go see him. So it was just like I told him I can only talk on the phone. My parents don't play that shit, right? But I thought they was your cousins. They are, but we not close. And the only reason why I ran into them, was because I was getting my hair done and the lady was like, this lady says she your cousin. And I had never seen the lady before. She was like, ain't your mama named da da da? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, yeah, that's my first cousin, on my daddy's side. I'm like, oh, okay. So we caught in contact. She was like, yeah, I got a son around your age and da da da. So anyway, they was in the bathroom. And because I was talking to him, and to this day, I still don't know why he caught an attitude because me and him got on talking on the phone. And it's like, to this day, I still don't understand why, because you weren't interested in me like that. You wanted the red bone that could go out. I can't go out, right? So they got to fighting, and my cousin told me that, you know how three people may be friends, but you got two that's like best friends. Then you got one that's a little off to the side. So, they didn't want him. We're gonna call him Sweet Pea. They didn't want Sweet. They used to play Sweet Pea to the left. They used to act like he was just a pretty soft boy. Da da da. He was just a pretty soft boy. He won't really, like that. He won't with the shits. So they was in the bathroom, and we're gonna call one of the guys Jerk, right? So Jerk had asked Sweet Pea about me. Apparently that was what was told to me. Sweet Pea was like, you ain't want her, so I took her off your hands. Jerk was like, don't buck. N-word, don't buck. He said, I'm not bucking. You ain't want her, so I took her off your hands. So he said, something about some smart mouth. And Sweet Pea don't even come across as that kind of guy that would get smart with nobody. Like I told my cousin, he's not even that type of guy. He said, man, you don't know that nigga got mouth. Da da da. So they got to fighting. And from what was told to me, Sweet Pea was in a fetal position up against the wall, like with his hands up. You know how you see them fights on World Star? He had his hands up in the fetal position, and Jerk was just beating him. He said, yo, bro, like he was punishing the nigga. So, more of the story, I was like, why don't you just say he got beat up? He said, no, that ain't beat up. He got punished. Like, if you could see, he was punishing that nigga like he was his daddy. Like, he was punishing him. I'm like, okay, you get no cool points for being a bully. Anyway, so yeah, more of the story
it's you got fucked up, you got beat, you got punished. You know, it's other levels to it too. You did not fuck her up, but that third round definitely went to Ivory. You beat her, but you didn't punish her. You didn't punish her like you didn't punish her. When I think of punish somebody, like, I gotta find that link that went. I think that was one of the first fights that went viral back in the day with that girl. What was her name? Shaquisha. Y'all remember that fight? It wasn't that fight. I'm just saying. It was another fight. The girls was fighting back up in New York, right? I gotta find that link so y'all can see what I'm talking about. When I think of punish somebody, I think of that girl got punished. Like, I gotta find that link for y'all. And I'm gonna try to find it. I'm gonna try to see, can I find it up here? That girl had took that dirt. Remember that time when the girl had came to the girl house and she was like, so you gonna snitch? I told you keep your mouth shut, right? And she beat that girl up and down that street. And they got to fighting all the way on the steps. And the girl was laid flat on the ground with her hands up. And she was beating that girl. And she was laying her flat. And she took the dirt from out the flower pot because they got to fighting on the stairs. And she put the dirt in the girl's face. Then she told the girl open her mouth. And she put the dirt in the girl's mouth. And she was still popping her ass. And the cameraman was like, I got to find it for y'all. And the cameraman was like, you got a knot on your forehead. She said, I don't give a fuck. And she grabbed the girl's head to lift it up so the camera could see it. And she's like, you see this bitch face? That's what you call punish. That's what you call punish. That's what you call punish. Because not only did you beat her, you was talking to her while you was whooping her. That's what you call punish. Like how my cousin said that he was doing that guy. He was beating him like, nigga, didn't I tell you about talking to me like that? Like, I said, you over exaggerating. He said, yo, he was talking to him while he was beating him. That's what you call punished. That you didn't punish her, Ivory. You beat her, but you did not punish her. Punish is like when your parents gave you a beating back in the day. And they be like, act right in school. Stop talking back. Stop, sit down. You know, that's what you call punish. You did not punish her. You got the best of her. You beat her, but you did not punish her.